After a day of rumors, twists, turns, and all of that, late in the night, we finally find out Aaron Judge's destination, and he's going back to pinstripes. 9 years, $360 million. I'm Tim McMaster along with Ken Rosenthal to break it all down because Ken knew better than anyone where the twists and turns were taking us. So let's start with the Yankees, though. They get their man. He doesn't leave. It's a long contract. We knew it was going to be that, but the Yankees come out winners in this after all of the everything.
Absolutely, Tim. They had to have him.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult to envision what they were going to look like without Aaron Judge. They probably would have had to go into the market for a shortstop as their big bat. They have the two young shortstops coming. It just wasn't a great fit. Now with Judge, things start to take shape. They're in the market for Carlos Rodon. They will get another outfielder. Maybe it's Benintendi. So, yes, right now they're finally in a place where you can see what the Yankees are going to look like next year. And, hey, it is a lot of money. It's a lot of years. It takes him through his age 39 season. That's the price of doing business. And the Yankees knew that. They knew they had intense competition for Judge. And what's amazing to me is, Tim, the offer back in spring training, 7 years, $213.5 million. My perception of that offer, the industry's perception of that offer was that it was fair.
Yeah.
And he got more than $135 million more than that. I think that's right if my math is correct. It's been a long night, but it's something along those lines. 2 years more and up to 360. So good for Judge. He certainly had the greatest walk year of all time, and now he reaps the rewards.
Yeah, and the Yankees, you look at the contract, and obviously they have to think to themselves, years 7, 8, 9, with a guy that size, you don't know what you're going to get. But it's the Yankees, right? Like if anybody can afford that end of a contract for the beginning of it and the goodwill of the fan base and everything else, it's the Yankees.
It is, and the other part of this that is stunning is the average annual value. It's $40 million. Record for a position player, not by 500,000,
right,
but by $4.5 million. So when you look at it all and you piece it together like that, yes, the Yankees paid an extremely steep price, but he will be their captain now. I feel fairly confident saying that. He likely will retire a Yankee. I would think that's going to happen as well. And if there's a Hall of Fame for Aaron Judge, and that remains to be seen, he'll be going in as a Yankee. That's good for him too. Post-playing career, all of these things factor in. And it was a really fascinating decision for Judge because he could have gone to the Giants. It's a different world. Could have gone to the Padres, probably. Different world for him. Maybe a different form of pressure. But in the end, he knew where he wanted to be, and he squeezed and squeezed and squeezed until he got what he wanted.
All right, let's talk about the Giants because that was the story earlier on Tuesday. Was it really felt like that's where he was going, right? And then we heard that he was coming into town, and to me, it felt like if he's coming here, he's not going to go back to the Yankees. But the Giants seemed very real, and now they've just missed out twice this week. Carlos Correa is in the mix there. Obviously, there's been rumors about that, but how are they dealing with the fact that we've missed out on our guy again? They didn't get Bryce Harper, who they wanted. Now they don't get Aaron Judge, who they wanted.
Well, it's still pretty early to get reaction.
Yeah, that's fair.
But at the same time, I'm sure they're hurt and disappointed, extremely disappointed. They were right there, quite obviously. And I am sure at points during the process, they felt really good about themselves. My understanding is they did a tremendous job recruiting Judge, laying everything out to him, just treating him the way you should treat a top-flight free agent. At the same time, they have to continue their offseason. They did strike a deal with Mitch Haniger yesterday, but they've wanted two outfielders all along. Now, do they go to Brandon Nimmo and Correa? Probably could get both for, well, maybe not. Both for the price of Judge. I don't know. We'll have to see. But they definitely need to do some things, and they know it, and they'll just have to pivot from here. They had to be aware, Tim, from the start that this was a very possible outcome. They all knew that. Every team that was interested in Judge, even the ones that didn't really bid, they all knew this was a guy that was going to be difficult to pry away from the Yankees. So from that perspective, I'm sure the Giants are not entirely surprised. And I don't know how they felt about what we perceived to be momentum yesterday. I don't know if that was what they were experiencing. But at the same time, Sure, they're disappointed. They're reeling a little bit this morning.
It's not a winter meetings if there isn't a mystery team at some point, and we got the mystery team in the Aaron Judge sweepstakes, and it ends up being the San Diego Padres, another team that obviously wanted Trey Turner. They miss out on Turner. They pivot. They try to get Judge. They miss out on him. AJ Preller, he just never stops.
He never stops, and he's not going to stop now. They have been in on Bogarts. It will be interesting to see if they maybe try for Correa, maybe try for Nimmo. There are all kinds of things that they can do. Judge would have been a fascinating ad for them. What happened was he flew in yesterday, as you said. They met last night in person, Aaron Judge and the Padres. And I don't know exactly how those conversations progressed, but the mere fact that they were meeting was a major development. And it turns out we don't know exactly what Judge was thinking as this process unfurled, but he ultimately decided, hey, enough's enough. I'm ready to go back to the Yankees. And again, it's just one of those things in free agency. I talk about this all the time. You never know what's going to happen. It's wild. It's unpredictable. This one was wild and it was unpredictable.
All right, one more thing, and that is it's Wednesday, and I feel like usually at the winter meetings, things build, and then sometimes you get a big Wednesday. We've already seen Verlander come off the board. We've already seen Judge come off the board. So is there enough still there that we have a big day today with as we record this? I will say,
Tim, we're recording this. It's not even.
Let's
it's
time
not even
this.
9 a.m.
Let's time.
Okay, it's not even 9 a.m. on the West Coast. And this morning, besides Aaron Judge, we've already seen agreements for Jose Quintana with the Mets, 2 years, $26 million. Kenley Jansen with the Red Sox, 2 years, $32 million. And the Cardinals closing in on Wilson Contreras. We don't know the exact terms yet, but they were talking about 4 years. So I would expect today will be a big day. And I don't know exactly how that shakes out and how many deals will get struck or anything like that. Boris still has a ton of players. Yeah. I mean, a ton. Rodon, Correa, Bogarts, Nimmo, and I can name probably 10 more. So I would expect he's going to do some things today, perhaps. And if it doesn't happen today, over the next week or so.
All right. Check out our All Baseball YouTube channel as well. Go to youtube.com/the Athletic Baseball Show. Ken, thank you so much for everything you do to get this information, but also for coming down here to talk to us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim.
For Ken Rosenthal, I'm Tim McMaster. Thanks for joining us.